Shalom, shalom. Israel, first and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, HaMashiach, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to my Akim, Wathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this foul captivity. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse, let's just start at verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And today's lesson is going to be on how a ruler, basically, the type of ruler that rules a city, town, whatever, place, nation, that's going to be, the people of said nation are going to take after their ruler. And we see this in Babylon today, and it is very apparent because the thing is, if you basically looked or watch how the West, or not even the West, lucky, that's incorrect as fuck, how the world changed within the last, since early 2000s, not even, I guess late 1990s to today. It is a very big change. I do think it's primarily the West, but I have noticed it is kind of more these other nations as well. All right, I heard it in Africa. It's in Africa. It's in Japan that I know of. All right, those are the only two countries that I've heard. It actually Esau actually influenced them, and how they got influence is based on the whole alphabet stuff. The alphabet stuff has influenced lots of people to the point where it's now okay. All right, the children are being taught to believe that is what's okay, that is what is fine. All right, and the children we taught with that's what's fine, and like in general, like it is also like it's also what's it called? It's changing everybody's behavior. All right, and we definitely see this because apparently, I think, hold on, let me see. Just do a quick Google search. Am I not? Yes, according to multiple studies, the average testosterone level in men has been steadily declining over the past few decades. So yeah, basically, men are not as masculine as they were any decade ago. So compare this decade to last decade / the decade before that, and keep on going. It just keeps on going down, keeps on getting worse. All right, so like this is the reality that we're living in right now. Like you're not getting authenticity, all right, when it comes to just living here. It's like we're getting weaker and weak. As a matter of fact, let me get that. It's been a long time since I brought that out. All right. Slakia, bear with me. Anyway, Second Ezra chapter 14 verse 17. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. All right. So as you have men that are getting weaker, there is a correlation to that. All right, correlation where evil is growing at the same time. And the thing about that is, you will see, bear with me, hold on one moment. You will see a,
And it was so sweet and beautiful and funny. Oh my gosh, I didn't expect to laugh so much. The storytelling was phenomenal.
it's like you're gonna have people that are constantly, going against what's normal, what's right, and everything like that. And there is an ever growing of doctrine, or doctrine, if you will, where people are constantly trying to find the newest trend of what's a new thing. What do we want to do? Let's learn something new. Let's do something else. Let's give up the old ways. Let's outdated this and the third. All right. I've literally said, I've literally heard. Well, I have made a lesson on it. I literally heard people say that X, Y, and Z way is an outdated way of thinking, and it is. I didn't realize it now, but I didn't realize it back then, but I see it, how bad it is now more so than ever. How it's a bad thing to say that something is an outdated way of thinking, because if you say and think that, then when will it be the case that randomly killing someone for no reason is going to be that is going to be considered okay? Because back then, because it was old, people said, "Oh, you're not allowed to kill people for no reason." So then it's gonna be the new trend to, because that's another thing. There was that trend called the angel of death on TikTok, where people were literally putting themselves in danger, running across the road randomly and hoping not to die, and then they literally died on a lot of the stuff. Lots of people were jumping off tall structures, all right, getting the last minute selfies, whatever the freak it's called. I don't know. There was that one dude that jumped off the Eiffel Tower or whatever, and he died. Slocky, I'm laughing because that's funny. I'm laughing at him because that's stupid. You literally took a selfie jumping with no parachute, by the way. Just to, I'm baffled. Slocky, I'm baffled because that is so dumb. That's actually dumb. Oh my god, Slocky, that's funny. Anyway, so yeah, basically, you have these different things where, like, people think that being trendy or just trying to find something new to start the first trend of something new is trying to find something new. The next thing to believe in, the next thing to do, like astrology. Astrology is a more recent thing. I think within 10 years, that's been getting some traction. All right, because I know it was just like a little hobby thing for people to say, "Oh yeah, what's your astrology sign?" Or not even astrology sign, but what's it called? I remember when I was in elementary school. What happened was they did that whole year of the Chinese New Year crap thing where they showed who was what animal, zodiac animal, and stuff like that. So yeah, like I did that not because I believed in it or not because the people that I was around believed in it, but it was simply just, oh well, it's a nice fun little thing. All right, but yet you have people that actually believe in some of these things, like they make it their whole lives, like what's that? Not zodiac, astrology. That's what it's called. Yeah, astrology. Okay, like, oh, well, if you're not a Cancer, then I can't deal with you. Like my horoscope said that a Taurus would ruin my day or whatever. Blah blah blah. All right, Stocky. That's funny. Anyway, basically, with that being said, it's still a major thing that we need to. Saki, going back to what I was saying, the whole thing of I didn't know how bad it would be until now, where it's a very dangerous thing to constantly say that we need to constantly be evolving our morals, because the thing about morals is well, I'll take the West for example. The West's morals are like America and Canada. They're primarily, I'm pretty sure. No, I mean not fully. Some instances there are, but not fully. Some of their morals are basically stolen from the Bible, and yet, even with other nations, like let's say China, for example, all right, their morals stem from, or better yet, since I said Africa and Japan, even them, with their ever-changing stuff, their initial morals are based off of whatever religious belief, which, it's a very important thing that we understand morality, all right, or how to dictate what is morality, all right. I think it's always just been spiritual. It's always been spiritual in a sense, where we dictate what's right and wrong, what's wrong based off of spirituality, not based off of our own desires. All right. So basically, I think that's a good starting point in describing it. And the reason why I say that is because oftentimes people, or more specifically, Babylonians, they determine what's right and what's wrong based on what they want or what they do. So with alphabetism, all right, that's honestly really a result of alphabetism getting legalized. Is actually a result of what the leaders have been doing behind closed doors, and it's not. It just wasn't socially acceptable at the time, and then after they say, okay, well now this is legal, so now you have a bunch of senators or whatever, or House people that are now openly doing that. All right, so now, and also, Slocky, this is really hilarious. All right, it's not a laughing matter, but it's very funny to point this out, because if you were alive back then, early 2000s, when just being limp hand was not acceptable, and they were making that legal, just that first level, just the G in the alphabet was being legal. They were getting exposed for doing all that stuff. All right, they were getting exposed for being that, and then they made it okay. Literally the exact same thing, the exact same tendencies is happening now, but with children. People, you have Epstein Island, all that stuff being exposed for messing with kids, and now you don't think that they're going to eventually make it okay to do that with kids? This is what they are slowly building up towards, because nobody, literally, I don't even know any of these major celebrities outside of Jake that's gotten in trouble for messing with kids. All right, literally nothing happened with what's it called, what's his name, the Jeffrey Epstein list. All right, all those people, even the Jakes, I think, except for the ones like what's his name, P. Diddy, Bill Cosby, and I think that's it. I could be wrong. There might be more, but whatever. But only those two that I can remember at the moment got exposed or got in trouble for that. All right, but none of these bigger names got in trouble for going on the Epstein Island stuff. All right, even though, like, where's the investigation for that? All right, if these people actually cared about the kids, like, what happened? All right, and even then there was a video circulating. All right, there was a video circulating about I should not say that, actually, because they're gonna say, oh, false information, and take the video down, and really just going after everything else. But yeah, basically this is an example of the people, the leaders making the people like them, and then soon you're gonna have a bunch of these people, all right, like say for example, if it's just like 1% of the population that mess with kids, then it's gonna be revealed that actually 10, actually 20, actually 50, not 50, but like a big percentage of people actually mess with kids, and they just didn't want to. They just got away with it. They just didn't get caught, or or I don't know, some crap happened. But you basically get the point. All right. So you have all these people that are okay with saying, messing with kids, that's wrong, blah blah blah. But as soon as the government legalizes it, all right, everyone's gonna change their tune about it. All right, and then the people are going to back down. They're not going to speak out against it, just like you are demonized for speaking out against the current alphabets. All right. Now, Ecclesiasticus chapter 32 verse 12. Take thy pastime and do what thou wilt, but sin not by proud speech. Now, this is one major thing that I like to point out. But not necessarily like to point out, but one thing to point out is that with YAHAWASHI, we are able to do whatever we want. Which, as a matter of fact, let me bring a supporting scripture. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought down under the power of any. All right, and this is the thing where everything is okay with YAHAWASHI as long as it's not a explicit sin. All right, so are you allowed to eat potato chips? Yes. All right, it's potatoes, so it's not a sin. So yeah, that's fine, because the scriptures don't say explicitly don't eat potato chips. Okay, but are you allowed to eat sushi? No, that's not right. Fine. I think Sluggy Bear. I'm pretty sure the scriptures say you're not allowed to eat raw meat or meat with blood or something like that, or just raw meat in general. Slakia. I could be wrong on that. But as a matter of fact, let me see.
And establish God's kingdom on earth. This dual Messiah concept is not explicitly mentioned in the Bible, although some scholars find hints of it in Zechariah 4, where two anointed ones stand beside the Lord.
Okay, let's see.
110, which mentions a priestly
Exodus chapter 12 verse 8, and they shall eat the flesh in the night, in that night roasted with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it not raw, nor hold on. I think this is for the Passover. Yeah, it's for the Passover.
This idea reshapes the traditional understanding of the Messiah, giving us a glimpse into how the Essenes interpreted prophecies differently than mainstream Judaism.
I hate when people say stuff without giving the precept, the references. At the very least, give the reference.
Priest king mentioned briefly in Genesis 14 as a central heavenly figure in the end times. In this scroll, Melchizedek is not just a priest, but a divine agent of judgment, returning in the last days to proclaim liberty and bring justice to the righteous while condemning.
Alright, so yeah, technically we're supposed to blood is one of the things that show rawness, but at the same time still, like, I'm pretty sure fish also, there might be a
Psalm 110 later.
we can, no, forget it. I'm spending too much time. Whatever, you get the point. You can do stuff like, for example, playing video games. You're allowed to play video games, but it doesn't. But you're not allowed to. But if you're allowed to play video games. All right, there's no law that says thou shalt not play a game or whatever. All right, so this is the thing. This is the beauty of YAHAWASHI, where He allows us to have certain pastimes. All right, It allows us to have certain pastimes like
return on the day of atonement
like
for the sins of the righteous.
playing video games or doing whatever we want, all right, as long as it's not just a direct sin, like it doesn't go against what the Lord told us to do or not to do, all right. So as a result of that, like, this is a very important thing, which I also kind of enjoy in that aspect, all right, because we have our own individuality in that regard, all right. Just like, oh, perfect. Another example like that of that is just like how we all look different, all right, because we're not all so-called black men. Some of us are lighter skinned. Some of us look like so-called Edomites. Some of us look like so-called whatever, all right. But yet the Lord still has mercy on us. The Lord still teaches us, guides us, and the such, all right, regardless. So call him MANASHAH for that, all right. But yet still, one commonality is that we all follow MANASHAH, all right. And even then, another thing to point out that's very unique is that some brothers might like rice-skinned. Some brothers like so-called black-looking women. So some brothers might like Indian, Chinese, and whatnot. All right, we all have our own individuality, so that we're not all the same. All right, it's also the same way in just like how the Lord created different races to begin with. All right, so yet we still have that, while still have our own individualities, while also retaining our same common love towards and common beliefs towards YAHAWAH. Because you could find whatever and with whatever you look like. If you look like a so-called white person, you will find a so-called black person, all right, that is in this truth, that believes in YAHAWAH just like you, all right, but might like different things, all right. Slakia, my eyes. And it's that beauty in the same, having the same power, but at the same time having different likes, which I think is a nice touch. Slakia for saying that. But yeah, so like these are some of these different pastimes that we do. Now continuing on, Ephesians chapter 4 verse 14, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So Slakia, that's another thing. We are, or not we, but people are constantly being carried away with different doctrine. They're constantly saying, oh yeah, I want to go try this, I want to go do this, I want to do whatever, all right. They're following these different things, trying to be a part of the world, all right, being the new trend, okay, that being the new trendy person, whatnot, all right. These are the different things that people follow, which also goes back into, as I was saying before, the whole quote unquote updating morality. All right, they update, they go with the update. When if the old thing works, like honestly, hey, you know what? That's a perfect example. My computer literally updated me to Windows 11. I never even noticed it before, but my computer updated to Windows 11. I had a program downloaded in my stuff, and I was wondering, like, why the frick is this not working? I kept on trying everything. Every time I tried to open it, it would just close out and whatnot. So I'm like, I literally talked to the company that sells the program, and they were saying like, okay, well, this program doesn't work with your version of Windows. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? I am Windows 10. And then lo and behold, when I checked my stuff, I'm like, I'm Windows 11, and I never remember downloading that. So computers constantly updating itself, I absolutely despise it. The whole update thing, like nobody asked. And even with this computer right now, I put don't update, my thing to set to don't update, but yet it says pauses update. The most I can do is pause update for 30 days, and then after 30 days is you have to schedule an update. And I'm like, I don't want this. I'm trying not to do this, but they constantly keep on trying to force you to update. And again, like, this is just like how Babylon is, where they're constantly trying to force you to update your beliefs, especially with the whole alphabet stuff. All right, and admittedly, with the end of segregation, they're trying to make even these Edomites think that it's okay to integrate because we're on top of them anyway. So leave it at that. All right. And the one thing that will always stay constant is with Esau is that Jake is always has to be at the bottom. That's the one thing that stays constant. But it's okay to be nice to them. Be nice to the so-called black people. All right. Be nice to them, but they're still gonna stay at the bottom. There's still gonna be thugs and hooligans and stuff like that. All right. Continuing on, let's Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. And Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. So with these two, it says daughter, says woman, whatever. But at the same time, Israel is referred to as a woman by Yahawah. All right, Israel as a whole, meaning of men and women, because we are the bride of Yahawah. All right, the Most High Yahawah, and as a result of that, we are. If we get too much liberty, too much freedom, we're going to do and try everything. All right. And as a result of that, we're going to destroy ourselves, just as we've destroyed ourselves right now. It's because of us serving these other gods that we are in this bad situation to begin with. All right. So as a result of that, this is what we need to look out for and have some self-control under. All right. So that we need to, and this is why lots of times people think that being restricted is a bad thing, when it's a very good thing. It's very good to have restrictions in some of the things that you do. All right. As a matter of fact, I've always felt like I always self-impose mental restrictions on myself, if not literal physical restrictions on myself. All right, where I don't freely allow myself to, either perform at my best, or if I feel like something's going to be too easy, I restrict myself. Okay, whenever I play video games, or if I've ever gone to someone's house, I always I don't know how good that they are. So what I do is I play a character that I'm not good with. All right, and then if I see they're good, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna try my best. If I see that they're bad, then okay, well, I'm gonna keep on holding back and whatnot. All right, these are the things that I meant that the Lord mentally put, and it's not something that I consciously made the decision. It's just something that the Lord just always had in me ever since I was young. Ever since I was literally a child, I always would hold back in lots of stuff that I do, or trying to put restrictions. All right, if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, you see Goku and Piccolo. I have to say Piccolo because I'm freaking sick of tired of just everyone dick riding Goku. But anyway, Piccolo, I'll just say Piccolo, because not Goku anymore, but Piccolo, he always wears those weighted clothes, that those shoulder guards and that turban. All right, those are always weighted, and it's supposed to make him slower, so that when he takes them off, he's faster, he's stronger, he's just overall better. All right, so it's that I think is that's probably the inspiration that comes from it and why I do it. Or maybe, honestly, I don't really think that's the case. I think it's just how the Lord made me out to be. But ultimately, it's just these things where it is good. Restrictions is good. It's good to have restrictions because it also trains discipline. All right, discipline where you have the discipline to say, okay, well, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. It's better to do this, even though you're able to. Okay, you should be able to stop yourself from doing certain things. All right. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 7. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. And that's a big thing. I remember there was this one there was this one Jake that had left WFI because because they were telling him not to go reading all these different books. All right. I think he was trying to read the book of Enoch, the book of Jasher, and all that stuff. I don't know. He made that Hidden Enemies documentary. All right. It was a pretty good documentary to kind of show people that are new to the truth. All right. But I haven't really seen that in a long time, so I don't remember what was in it. But yeah. Anyway, aside from that, by the way, the book of Jasher and Enoch and stuff like that, those are pseudepigrapha, and they were not originally in the KJV, the 1611 KJV, which in the 1611 KJV, it was the Apocrypha that was the only thing that was taken out by the Bible Destruction Group. All right. So some history for you. Genesis chapter 2 verse 16, and the Lord commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely. Verse 17, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. All right, so basically, with that being said, the Lord basically did another form of restriction. Said you can do all this, but restrict yourself. Have some discipline. Don't eat from this. Don't eat from this tree. All right. Ow. 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that I in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to the seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. All right. And that's what's going on today, where people are constantly being seduced by these spirits, by demons, wanting to do X, Y, and Z. I don't want to do everything that's under the sun and whatnot, or everything that everyone else is doing. And as a result of that, they are being seduced by these spirits. They're being seduced by these spirits and following doctrines of devils. All right. So as a result of that, this is another thing that's actively going on right now, where people oftentimes they don't know that they're following doctrines of devils, like Christianity, for example. Christianity is a demonic doctrine, especially because most people, if you've seen that one episode of Good Times when that Jackson 5 member, I think, was saying, well, here, why don't you put this black Jesus up instead? And it was the black mother, I don't remember their names, said, oh, I don't know that Jesus, I only know white Jesus. All right. So that is a doctrine of devil, where they have this false image. All right. Because the thing is, you wouldn't, well, I don't need to explain that. You understand. So basically, with that, I pray this system was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, MANASHAH, HAITIANS, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Abba, and Shalom.